This is the new truck. This is a 2001 Dodge Ram 1500. Short cab, single cab. Short bed, single cab, sorry. It's got a welder bed on it. It's got speakers on the bed. Little container here. All this needs to be painted. I had that toolbox used to be on it in front of these two, but I already took it off. And they got the gas cap here. It looks like it's pretty good, you know. All this is, I need to bolt all this down. There's like some type of plate here that they must have had some type of access into the cab. And then around the window, I have to put a bead of like rubber caulking. But overall, it's a clean truck. Got, I think these are 24 by 16s. Custom steel bumper. Grill, it's got the halo lights. Got the suspension in here. So one of the things that I noticed right away was this bushing here. It's completely gone. It needs to be replaced. But overall, the ball joints look okay. Everything looks all right. It's got a Bluetooth drive shaft, but I've got the drive shaft. I'm gonna redo the bed, try to grind some of this and make it look better than what it does. It's all kind of rough. And then I'll show you guys the inside of the cab here. So I've got the door panel off because I have to replace the window motor. It's bad. But this is the interior. It's clean. It's got cloth seats. I've got the center console right over there. And then it's got this custom center console. It has I believe it's a 10-inch sub inside the box. There's that cutout hole that I was showing you guys. So all the plastic trim from back in here, this whole section has been taken out. It's got this fake cow skin headliner. I'm probably just gonna paint that black. But it's got the crack dash, so I gotta get a new one of those. It's got 150,000 miles on it. It's a V8. It's 4-wheel drive. It runs great. So there's 1 amp underneath the driver's seat, and then there's 3 other amps over here. This one's not connected, and I don't know if this one is. Maybe it is. I have to go through everything and see. This is like a loose thing. The seats won't scoot up. Like the track underneath it is kind of stuck, so I have to take the actual seats out so I can figure out what I'm gonna do with this stuff. It looks like there's room back here for an amp. There's the face of the sub is right here, but this is bolted down. So I feel like I could put an amp right there, and that would give me all the room back here because I need to be able to put my seat back. I'm 6'2". But all in all, it's a good truck. Got it for a really good deal, and we'll see what we can do to it. Right now, it's got 2-inch spacers on it. I'm gonna be taking those 2-inch spacers off, so it'll still have some poke, but not near as much. The front is just so wide. I mean, I need to rotate the tires too, and it needs an alignment from when they did the lift. But I got to rotate the tires, and then I need to bring this in. I need to take those 2-inch spacers off because it's just too much. The track on it. I mean, when you're driving on the interstate, I mean, any little thing, it's looking to wander on you. So, okay, so I am in the process of trying to redo these speakers here. So I know I've been kind of missing some stuff. I took to get the truck an alignment, but I need a new wheel bearing on that side, on the driver's side. So I got 2 wheel bearings coming. I took the seat covers off. I took the seats out and just kind of pulled out all the wiring and everything. I got wiring here that was just laying in there. It wasn't even hooked up to anything. Okay, got the seat out. And this box, I really want to put new carpet on the outside of this box. But I think right now I just want to wire everything up and make sure it's working. When I picked the truck up, it was working. It hit really hard. Everything sounded good. It's got 2 speakers. No speakers in the doors, but I'm going to order some of those on Amazon. They also have a spot back here for some speakers, so I'm probably going to order some of those. Over here on the seat, this seat has brackets, I would assume probably for the center console. You can see they've already been cut, but I need to cut them down here because the speaker box is gripping onto these, and it's keeping it from sitting flush on the ground. Another thing I noticed is the AC works really good in this truck, but it's building condensation up under here and it's getting on the carpet. And then the carpet down here is kind of damp. So I'm gonna have to try to figure something out. This is all just, nothing's rusted too bad. The underside of this truck looks really good, but I definitely probably gonna have to get new carpet because it's pretty trashed. I was thinking about pressure washing it and painting it black. We'll still see if we can do that, but I don't know. These are the speakers for the ones that are in the bed on the back. All right, so last night I was fixing up some of the wiring. Still kind of looks like a mess, but it's in better shape now. And right now I poured the seafoam into the engine and I'm letting it run. I already drove it a little bit, but I'm letting it run a little bit more. Kind of idle here. It sounds really good. It's nice and tight. I'm happy with everything. I saw an exhaust bolt right there. You can probably see it. That bolt is gone. It looks like it's just a regular bolt, and the ones back there are stuck. So I'm hoping that I can just find a replacement for that. And then my airbox here is, kind of rattling a little bit too. It's not really secure, so I have to take care of that. But other than that, running really good. All right, so I had this old Yeti plate laying around from where I used to work, and he used to have like a deer plate on there. I think you guys saw it earlier in the video, but took that deer plate off because I don't hunt personally, and I think that looks better. It kind of fits the theme of the truck as well too. So got the truck, it warmed up, drove it with the seafoam. Now I've got the buckets down there. I'm about to zip off the oil drain plug and see how this oil looks. Okay, so got that pulled out. It was pretty simple. I checked the oil. I mean, it's pretty black, but no metallics. Seems like it's pretty clean. This rear main seal here, is leaking kinda. It's not, I mean, everything's kind of wet, so I guess it is kind of bad, but overall, like, the inside of the truck looks really clean. I mean, everything just looks so good. It's nice and clean. We'll be replacing this exhaust as well too. But it's got a Borla cat right here, which is nice. Okay, so just took it for a ride. It's running good. It runs real smooth. It's got really good oil pressure. I think it was a little low. Here's the oil that came out of it. Pretty nasty stuff. You can see there. So it's definitely happy now. It's definitely a lot quieter, that's for sure. You know, I don't think this truck was too neglected. It looks like it's really clean. Just overall, you know, just had a little bit of a lack of maintenance. So anyways, now I am going to start spraying everything with degreaser because I'm going to be taking it to the shop and have them kind of diagnose why I have this little bit of a catwalk problem. I already took it to one, and they seem to think it's the track bar bushing. I'm kind of new to the lifted truck thing. I've had a couple of them, but I haven't had any that I had to like really do anything with because it's really just buy and flip. But this one, I definitely have to do a little bit too. I also noticed there's a pretty nasty gouge in the tire over there. I don't know if you can see that, but it's holding air. I drove it all the way to St. Pete, where I live, from way down in Punta Gorda. So for you guys that know, that's an hour and a half ride. So it did fine. It just wanders a little bit. I am going to take off the 2-inch spacers because it's just too wide, mainly for the streets that we have around here. It's touching both lines, and I don't want to curb the wheels or anything. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and spray all this with degreaser and see how clean we got it. All right, I'm not sure if you can tell, but everything's soaked and dripping now. And what I did was I just took some of the purple power and I just threw some Dawn dish soap in there to kind of give it a surfactant so it can kind of hang on a little bit. You can see the suds and stuff up here, how they're sticking. So the pump sprayer is much better than dealing with the squirt thing as well too. So this is coming out really good. All right, so I mixed just enough, and I've got everything soaked under here. You can see all the wet spots, but everything's dripping. Everything's coming clean. It's wasn't really too bad. My flatbed 95 F350, it was a Power Stroke. Man, that thing had so much oil on it when I got it. It needed a rear main seal and stuff, but all this is nice and clean now. I ordered a detailing brush kit from Amazon, so that should be here in a couple of days, and that's when I will do the engine bay. But right now I am going to spray the top of the inside of the hood right here. Alrighty, so everything's sprayed. Got the radiator sprayed real good. The AC cooler here. The whole engine and everything has been sprayed lightly. I stayed away from the fuse box and stuff. I know that you want to stay away from that stuff. And fingers crossed nothing got shorted out, but everything's clean. I don't have a pressure washer yet, so this is what I'm going to use for now. But I'm getting ready to move. So when I move in, I actually have a new shop that we're going to be moving into. So when I move into that shop, that's when I'll end up getting the pressure washer and some actual tools and stuff like that. I'm working literally out of an old toolbox, and I just have all my random stuff in here and then in my spare bedroom in the house. So I'm going to go ahead and try to rinse this off as best as I can. Look at all that dirt. Okay, so back at it today. I've got the notorious Harbor Freight grinder. I got the variety pack. Got the variety pack of blades here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off this bracket right here and this one here, because the sub box sits right here and it's grabbing on. It's hitting onto these. So first things first, we'll cut that off, and then I'm going to throw on the flapper disc, and I'm just going to go around and I'm going to start to clean up all this slag, any of this stuff here, because we are going to do a high gloss on the outside, all gloss black, and then on the top I'm going to do the bed liner. So we're going to go around, we're going to flatten down some of these welds here, try to round everything off, get rid of all the slag. You can see here, you know, it's not the best, but we're going to try to clean it up as best as we can. You can see they already did some here, and then they actually went through right there. That's not good. So, and then around the gas cap, we'll stay away from that, but everything else looks pretty good. All right. Got both of those off. Okay, so not perfect, but Definitely clears now. Okay, it's coming out. This whole thing was just so covered. And this one too, I'm gonna have to try to, I am gonna be putting truck liner on this, so here you can kind of see the stuff I'm looking at. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I did want to kind of knock it down and make it as smooth as possible. Same thing with the edges. Okay, so got a lot of it ground down now. I only went through one flapper disc so far. I think that I'm only gonna do the bed liner on the top half right here, and like there's a little lip that goes around the edge here. You see this little lip? Just from like the toolboxes and stuff, you can actually see right. I'll probably do to this welded line, right? And then the rest of this, I'm just gonna do all spray it. I'm just gonna sand it down real nice with a palm spray, orbital sander, get it really nice and smooth, and then just spray it with some like Rust-Oleum gloss black. Stuff is really good. And it'll make it look nice and clean. This is a Florida truck, so it has to go with the theme, right? But anyways, I've got an appointment at the 4x4 shop tomorrow to have them go over the front end. I know that it needs a wheel bearing on the left side. I'm just gonna go ahead and do both of them while I'm down there. That'll be something that I do. I know it needs the sway bar links, and I also need them to just kind of run over all the ball joints, make sure everything's good, make sure the bushings are right. That way everything's nice and fresh and tightened up on the front end. The rear end seems like it's okay. I don't hear any squeaks or noises or anything coming out of the wheel bearings, so that should be fine. I'm gonna try to leave that alone as good as I can. And then I will show you guys the bottom of the truck since we did that cleaning and stuff yesterday too. Okay, so you guys can kind of see it's pretty clean under here. I mean, we're gonna have to get under there and paint all those beams. I don't think I'm gonna sand them down or anything. I think I'll just get under there and spray it. But you can see under here, it's nice and clean. So now that I have everything clean, I can kind of diagnose if it has any oil leaks and where. I know that it's leaking right here. So that seal is gonna need replaced. I have to get the drive shaft put in. Well, I've got to put the drive shaft in, I have it. And then I also have to get some more of these bushings, these end links, whatever they are. I think they need to be taller because the truck's lifted, but I'm gonna find out from the shop when I go. Okay, so about 20 minutes there and came out pretty good. There's nothing I can really do about this. I am gonna hit it with the flapper disc, try to do a little bit more, but really you're just taking material off of this piece of metal because I don't think they're really even. So just gonna, I guess I'll do a little bit to it, but other than that, all this is good. There was so much slag and just, you can see it's just on an even cut, which is fine. It's not a big deal, but it was just so rough and nasty. Okay, so finally got it finished up, guys. I mean, it's not perfect, but all that extra that was here, I went ahead and ground all that off, so it's pretty much flush. The other side was perfect. I went in here and, I mean, it's not as bad as it was, that's for sure. So I rounded all the edges, cleaned it up a little bit. I am gonna be sanding all of this before I do it. And hopefully that Raptor liner will go ahead and cover up most of these welds. I know that it's pretty smooth, so it should go in there and fill up pretty good. So I do want to do the insides, but look at this. Look at all this rust. So if anything, I'll just take like a wire wheel. I'll just wire wheel this stuff real quick. I kind of want to drill a hole in here so it can have some drainage, but I'm not quite sure if that's what I want to do, because it is right next to the rear wheel, so it might just get water up in it. Or I might drill a hole and then get like a little rubber plug, little grommet, and put that in there. But all in all, it's not bad. I think I've been going for about an hour, hour and a half, and I got everything looking a lot smoother than it was. I mean, the amount of slag that was on this thing was just ridiculous. I mean, it was literally everywhere. So, I mean, you can kind of see, I guess he did some type of brush on bed liner. You can kind of see some brush marks there. It definitely has texture. So whatever it was, hopefully it comes off pretty easily. It's definitely not thick. It's a pretty thin coat, whatever it is. So maybe I'll do some paint remover and have that all come off of there, or maybe I'll just sand it the way it is and just hit it with a thick coat of like etching primer. But yeah, anyways, I think that's going to wrap it up for this part right now.